In this Minecraft video, I am going to survive 300 days in Minecraft Skyblock Hardcore. With big plans like refighting the Ender Dragon, can I survive longer than any person ever has in Skyblock? Well, let's find out. But before we begin, I just want to say, if you're part of the large 93% of people not subscribed, please consider doing so. I put a lot of work into these videos for people like you to enjoy, and it would really make my day if, you did consider doing so. Also, you get this video to 1,000 likes, and I will instantly start working on surviving in 400 days in Skyblock. That's enough jibber jabbering, let's begin. Picking it back up on day 201, and my first thing to do was set up my to-do board. This was pretty much just the task that I wanted to do over the next 100 days, which admittedly wasn't a lot. I wanted to get an end ship, I wanted to get every animal so I could set up a farm for each one of them, and I wanted to carry on the task of trying to max out one of every villager. Not many tasks, but really just big tasks. And once I got all my ducks in order, I pretty much set off to do the first task, which obviously was get the animals. I tried to get them to spawn for 200 days, and quite frankly gave up on that, so I flew over to the mainlands where I got some animals, basically to drag over, quite frankly. We'll start with these sheep, and then on day 203 I flew back over and grabbed some cows. Now that they're all set up in the pen, I can pretty much just breed them whenever I want, and I have an unlimited supply of both sheep and cows. On day 204 I noticed that the iron farm wasn't really working that well, and I assumed it was because of all the iron golems around, so I decided to casually slaughter them all. Here's a fun fact for you though. Despite the fact I had full protection 3 and protection 4 netherite armor, these iron golems still hit like a truck. Do not mess with iron golems, man. My god, they can one-shot you if you don't have armor on. And then went grinding for some bones because I wanted to focus on doing the trading with villagers now that I've got all the animals except pigs. So I pretty much just sat at the mob grinder with my looting sword for a while. And when I say a while, I mean 4 Minecraft days. Here is a double chest full of bones, and boy was it worth it. I went from grinding bones to grinding carrots on day 210. I also grinded a little bit of wheat just so I could obviously breed the animals that I got as well. By the time I was done grinding all of this, it was day 213, and by day 214 I started breeding the animals that I already had. Once I had enough comfortable amount of sheep, I started shearing them straight away. Pretty much just wanted to get as many beds as I possibly could just so I can leave the villagers to their business if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And I also extended the little villager farm that I do have. I mean, it was a very cramped area as it was, so now I can just slot in more beds and everything. I also started working on giving each one of them their own little hut. I wanted to split them up by trader so I don't have to search through them all to get them, and I wanted 3 of each just to, give myself multiple options whenever I need a specific thing. That took me all the way until day 218 when I thought about splitting them up now and decided that was a future Haven job. I had more important things to do, like the mammoth job of getting every single villager to a max level. I'll be honest with you, that was the plan initially. I ended up just getting 1 of each max villager because it just took so long to do. I also wanted to just get as many emeralds as possible just in case something really important comes along down the future. So I got as much gold as I could from the gold farmer. I cut down every tree, causing pretty much my own deforestation. I also grinded as many melons as I possibly could. I'm never gonna get tired of saying it like that. And I just got to trading. I basically traded what I could, and then I traded with other villagers who came back. And by the time I was done trading and got everything done, it was day 235. That's 16 Minecraft days. I spent over 3 hours trading with these nerds. To be fair though, got 1 max of every villager plus enough emeralds that I would ever need. I then decided at this point, now that I was pretty much done with the trading, that, well, I was going to split up the villagers into their own little huts now. It took me another day to finish the moving, and now that I got them all maxed out, my plan was just to get as many emeralds as I possibly could. So I spent another hour basically trading with them. Here we are on day 241 where I finally finished trading with them. I had more emeralds than any man should ever have. And you know what I did with those emeralds? Maybe reinvest them back to villagers, maybe just keep them for the future so I can obviously trade them back. Or I could make a house of emeralds. I'm wasting my time playing in this world. By the end of 242, I also had the house, and you know what? I kind of like it. Sure, it kind of is a bit of an eyesore next to the cobble and the house that Austin built, RIP, but it's my emerald house. It's my build. So I did the first 2 big tasks by day 243, so it was finally time to take on the last one. What did I mean by I wanted an end ship? Well, basically my plan was to go to the end, find an end ship, which I already found in the previous 100 days, link in bio, description. Dan, this isn't Tinder, it's YouTube. And basically my plan was to dismantle this end ship, take it back to my mainland, and just rebuild it, quite frankly. And so that's what I did. I basically tore it down with a couple of extra blocks from the end city itself. And by the time I did all of that, I managed to get back home. It was now day 245. And then I took on the task of trying to build this end ship back in my world. So here's something you should know about me. I've been playing Minecraft for what feels like 10 years. Before it was officially released, so I was playing Minecraft in beta. In that time, I have refined my survival skills to as good as anybody else. My PvP skills, I used to play a lot of Ultra Hardcore. For those who don't know what that is, it's the PvP competition where your health doesn't regenerate. I also think my parkour skills are alright. My redstone skills aren't anything to brag about, but I know the basics. However, in those 10-ish years, my building skills are abysmal. Something that should have only taken me half an hour to do ended up taking me 15 Minecraft days. So what I did was, for the first 2 or 3 days, I just tried to spitball it by looking at images on Google. And then when I realized that that wasn't going to work, I spawned in my second Minecraft account, went creative, found a second end city, and studied the end ship whilst I was building it. So I was going into one Minecraft account and be like, okay, I need to do this. And I was going back into the other Minecraft and be like, okay, I need to do that. It still took me 15 days to do. I am embarrassed on how long it took. And by the time I finished it on day 260, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually realized that I basically mismatched the front and the back. I started building the front on both sides, and I was just, at this point, so done that I was like, I'm just going to leave it and just wing it. And so it's not an exact replica of an end ship, but it's still an end ship. I'm still counting it. I'm also very grateful that I got the extra blocks, because if I didn't, well, I wouldn't have been able to finish it. On day 261, I wanted to go back to simple things, and since I had an emerald house, I thought, why not an iron house? Here's my nice little iron house on the platform that I killed the wither. Isn't that nice? And now that I had an iron house and I had an emerald house, it only felt right to make a gold house. So I just sat in the nether for another 6 days, so day 269, nice. I know there's 2 in front of it, but I can still say nice. I got enough gold from the gold that I got originally from trading to the gold that I have now to make this gold house. Once that was done, I decided to make some end crystals, and day 270 I was like, hey, let me put them in the emerald house. It did take me a lot longer than it should have to realize that you need to place it on obsidian. I was googling for ages and thought that you could only place it on bedrock, and that was depressing to think about. Anyway, by the time I figured it out, it was now day 271. I wanted to extend a couple of the platforms that I had, so day 272, I pretty much just went AFK and grinded some cobble. I'm not really a fan of going AFK for the most part in these certain situations, but I had to go eat and I also needed a shower really badly. And so I just set up my spacebar as my mine, popped something heavy on my spacebar, and then just went AFK. By the time I got back on day 275, I had a full inventory of cobble, so that was pretty good. Before I started building though, there was actually one task that I forgot to add onto the to-do board, and on day 276 I started, well, taking that task on. You see all those nice little levels at the bottom of my bar? Let's spend them all. So I just started enchanting every book I possibly could. By the end of day 278, I pretty much built the perfect set of armor, protection 4 and everything. The boots had Death Strider, the helmet had Aqua Infinity and Respiration, my bow had Punch, Infinity and Flame. The sword had Fire Aspect, the pickaxe was Efficiency 5, everything about my equipment was just perfect. Only way I was gonna die now was falling in a void. Nothing else will kill me. I know they're famous last words and I'll probably die in the 400 days video, but I'm gonna enjoy the moment right now. Which actually gets me on to a very quick point. If you've made it far in this video, then you are probably invested in this adventure in this Skyblock world. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a comment in the description. I'm gonna comment in the comment section below. I'm gonna pin it and I'm gonna be like, what should I build in 400 days? I'm out of stuff to build. So if you guys have any ideas on stuff I should build, then please respond to that comment, because seriously, I'm out of stuff to do. Like, I pushed Skyblocks to its absolute limit, so please let me know what I could possibly do. Anyway, back to the Skyblock. On day 281, I've realized that I didn't have any pigs. I didn't realize originally, so I had to go and get some. The annoying part is on the way back, right at the end, one of the pigs fell underneath the platform, and despite my best efforts, and I mean my best efforts, one of the pigs still fell. And so, though I managed to get one pig, I had to go get another. It took me until the morning of day 283 to actually get another pig, and then I just will stop breeding them. So now I have unlimited animals of every kind, except llamas, I guess, but that's a job for another day. Speaking of an unlimited supply of animals, on day 284, it was time for me to sacrifice some cows to the great lords. In other words, I just wanted some leather. Remember my really annoying storage unit that didn't have any item frames on, so I never knew where anything was? Well, on day 286, I not only got the item frames to sort that chest, but I also started organizing the stuff in general. Now if I actually want to find something, I'll be able to find it. isn't that useful. I wanted to get a couple more levels just so I can start working on like a really good axe and a really good shovel at the same time. So on day 288, I actually went back into the end to kill the Ender Dragon. I thought it would give me like the same 40-ish levels that it normally does, but nope. After killing the Ender Dragon with relative ease, it only dropped 17 levels for me. Such a waste of time in the grand scheme of things. And then on day 290, I slowly started building this larger platform just for future builds. Like I say, I've got 400 days to do it the next time, and I'm gonna need some more space to build everything. I was on and off doing that throughout the next 9 days, and day 299 I managed to finish off the platform. I didn't really have anything to do for the last 2 days, so pretty much I just spent the last day with Austin, who I miss very much. The sunset was nice, and just like that, I'd survived 300 days in Skyblock. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and please remember, if you enjoyed, to subscribe. Good night, everybody.